and to Alice Hench-Fisk, the last lady of the manor, who pursued this work in honor of her husband, and in 1999 endowed UMass Boston's Andrew Fisk Center for Archaeological Research, which unearths these stories all over the world. Today's program, in collaboration with the Eastville Community Historical Society here in Sag Harbor, brings together a remarkable panel of academics, advocates, and preservationists that represent local, national, and yes, international initiatives. There are so many people who worked so hard to bring this event into the light of day, and every time I have to do this, I'm always loath to actually mention names because inevitably and invariably we forget somebody, so my apologies to anyone ahead of time. Georgette Grier-Key, the Executive Director of Eastville, our partner and panelist extraordinaire. Our other panelists, Sandra Arnold, Zachary Cohen, Steve Merzowski. Zach Studenroth is ill and couldn't be with us today. You can read all about their incredible backgrounds in the handout we have for you. Donna Marie Barnes, where are you? Manor Docent, who curated the fabulous exhibit you see in the lobby today, and artist David Cosgrove, who lent his artwork for this event. The Manor staff, Kim Folks, Sarah Garden, Max Spielman, Maggie Higby, and Kurt Erickson, the folks here at Bay Street Theater, but most importantly, each one of you, our audience, who through your attendance and support are encouraging all of us to keep telling these stories. Now I'd like to introduce our distinguished moderator, Carl Grossman. Mr. Grossman has been a practicing journalist for more than 50 years, as well as a professor of journalism at SUNY's College of Old Westbury since 1979. He has written a local column in Suffolk newspapers for over 40 years, as well as writing 6 books, countless articles and blog posts, and hosting a nationally aired television program. The East Hampton Library is currently digitizing his amazing life of work. Last but not least, Mr. Grossman is a board member of the Suffolk Center on the Holocaust, Diversity, and Human Understanding, which makes him uniquely qualified to help us all in telling the next chapter in this important story. Carl Grossman.
A warm welcome to you all being here today. Cemeteries can provide a significant insight into history and in honoring the past. Today's event is inspired by the national theme of Black History Month this year, Hallowed Grounds, Sites of African American Memories. It's fitting we're in Sag Harbor, which was open to many peoples, among them African Americans, Native Americans, European immigrants, including Jews. My grandfather came to Sag Harbor from Hungary to work in Joseph Fahey's watch case factory. Fahey would meet Jewish immigrants, Hungarian Jewish immigrants. Engraving was a big, important art among Hungarian Jews on Ellis Island. Also Italian engravers, and bring them out to Sag Harbor. And he met my grandmother here. She also was from Hungary. Now, I mentioned to Georgette yesterday the unusual story of the Sag Harbor Jewish Cemetery. The Hungarian Jews didn't get along with the Russian and Polish and other Jews in Sag Harbor. Hungarians in general regard themselves as very special, their cuisine, their language. So even though the Jews came to Sag Harbor, they couldn't live in Southampton or East Hampton. Those were restricted in terms of Jews. Here they were welcome, but the Hungarian Jews didn't get along with the other Jews. And this was demonstrated for decades in the Sag Harbor Jewish Cemetery. If you go down Route 114, you see the Jewish cemetery. In the 1920s, there was a major fire in Sag Harbor, and if you look closely, you can still see the with Sag Harbor. Okay, just 1 second. Technology.
Carl, adjust the microphone.
Okay. The Hungarian Jews insisted on being buried on one side of the cemetery, and the other Jews ended up on the other side of the cemetery with a fence down the middle. You can actually still see the fence. And I mentioned this to Georgette after we talked yesterday about burial grounds, about how right down the road from Eastville is less than a mile is the Sag Harbor Jewish Cemetery, and how I had done a documentary a couple of years ago on the unusual Jewish history in Sag Harbor. You can see it on YouTube. I made it for WVVH-TV. And in it, I mentioned there's a passage on this split between the Hungarian Jews and the other Jews of Sag Harbor. And Georgette suggested we show just a little clip, which almost appeared there, from the video. So let's show that clip now.